Okay, guys, so we're getting pretty close to the end here, and depending on the random events that we're going to draw at the end of this round, for the next round, who knows, it might even be over after this round. But we know the Mexican Revolution isn't going to end until it ends, and so we continue. Anyway, I got no roles to begin with for the Americans. They're not controlling anybody, and they can't do any tech or anything. So, uh, combat moves, they're controlling the revolutionaries. So they're just going to go and take this territory as a walk in, and they're going to bring the cavalry down. There's two of them, and they have five infantry. And we have Mexico City surrounded. So the militia are going to be at ones, and all the infantry are going to be at ones, and the cavalry is going to be at two. So let's go over the board and do that. I just happen to have some dice right there. Okay, so these are the infantry, need to be one. These are the militia, they need to be one. And these are the horses, they need to be two. And remember, it's winter turn, so it's only one round. Here we go. Absolutely no hits. Okay, so that is it for combat. Now, the Americans have 4 IPP, so they are going to spend, let's go like that. They are going to spend 3 of those 4 IPP, and they're going to lend lease to Serbia an infantry. Now, there is 4 chips here, so I will just put a 5 chip down and put the infantry back on. So there's 6 infantry now in Serbia. Okay. Now, Randall hasn't gone yet. He hasn't taken the Russian turn. I think I know what he's going to do, though. So I'm going to take my turn here, including the random events, and depending on the random events, just like the last turn, if the random events are something that could sway Randall's mind, just make him decide to do something different, then I won't publish it. But if the random events are something that doesn't matter to the Russians, then I'll just go ahead and publish it. But anyway, before that, we have to finish this turn off. So, uh, yeah, I guess I do have to make a roll for Mexico, don't I? Okay. So let's just see here. We've got 2, 4, 5, 6 territories. Okay. So a 6 or less, and a missed. Okay. Now we can do this. Okay. So that is the end of this round, which means that the Balkan War 2 is over. There's a random event that could start up another war, but it's not the same as this war. So let's do the resolution. Okay, I'll read to you. Okay, Albania is formed as a strict neutral with a militia if the Ottomans are ejected by any other power. Otherwise, they remain Ottoman. Okay, so they are not Ottoman. I'm just going to move these guys up here because that's where they're going anyway. Okay, so this goes back to being a neutral, a strict neutral, in fact. And then, and this is going to come off as well. Okay, so what's next? Macedonia is annexed by Greece if the Ottomans are ejected from any of the territories north, south, and central Macedonia. Leave any Greek units in Macedonia consolidated on the main map. Ottoman units in part of Macedonia are moved to the nearest Ottoman land zone. Okay, so this is what they're talking about: north, south, and sort of southwestern, and what is this one? Central Macedonia. So what they need is Ottoman units on all of them, and of course they don't have any Ottoman units on them. So that means that these become Greek territory, or that Greek gets Macedonia. So I put these over onto the main map on Macedonia. Okay. I might as well put this guy over there too. Okay. So, oh, there's these guys too. And we can't forget the Navy. I'll show you the main map after I'm done doing all this. I don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. Okay, so that's the Greeks, but this one here is different as well. You get to keep all your territory too. So all the other ones are, all these ones are already marked. Okay, what's next? If the Ottomans possess all Macedonian territory, then Macedonia remains Ottoman. That's not okay. Move any remaining Ottoman units to Macedonia, consolidate. Okay, that's not. Okay, what we need to do is move these guys out of Macedonia to the nearest land zone. So let's just take them over to the main map. So these two guys are on Thrace here. Okay. And these guys have to move to Thrace because that's the nearest land zone. Let me just grab another chip there. Take that other guy off. Okay. So there's that. And then we got the Ottoman guards. And we've got a observation balloon. And we have an artillery. And we have one busy Thrace. Okay, there's that. Powers may otherwise keep the territory they occupy. Transfer units from the mini-map to the main map for all countries, including neutrals. Okay, so that's these guys, Bulgaria. They will go back to Bulgaria. The one thing that won't happen, of course, is the Serbians don't get to keep this one here because this one is Macedonia, and so that goes to the Greeks, right? But certainly these guys will be going to the main map. Let's see, we need some chips here. We need one for this. Okay. And that guy's off. And then one for that guy. Actually, let's take this guy off. There we go. And I think that what Randall is doing is, like, I'm not sure what else he's doing. Obviously, he's not attacking anything. I think he's putting one more guy on Serbia. And then there is Montenegro. He also goes onto the main map. And is that everything? Yes, it is. Look at that. That is done. Okay, so we're done with that now. Okay, now we get to hand out the prizes. Okay. Oh. Okay. Says minor powers are no longer controlled or aligned. So though they're not controlled by, like the Greeks are not controlled by Britain anymore, and Bulgaria wouldn't be controlled anymore. Okay, here we go. If the Ottomans own any 1912 mini-map starting territories, then move their technology to level 3 defense in depth and level 1 improved logistics. Okay, so they did own that territory. Here, let's just bring this back for a second. So they did own this territory here, Eastern Macedonia. So that means they get to go to level 3 defense in depth. Now, I think because they're already at level 2 that you would just add 3 stages, right? So I think that they should be at level 4. And then, what was the other one? Improve logistics. So I'll go up one with that too. Okay, let me just do that. So, improve logistics. And defense in depth, we're going to take it all the way to stage 4. Okay, there we go. So the Ottomans got their prize. And then it says, here, we can get rid of this now again. Let's go over and look at the main map here. I think that was the only one that we needed to look at there. Okay. So, if Montenegro possesses their home country, advance France to level 1, improve logistics. So, we know that Montenegro still has its home country. And France, because of what happened in the Italian-Turkish war, we're already at level 1. So, we're going to take them to level 2. And if that's not the case, like after I talk to Bob, then we'll move them back. But I think that's only fair. Like, okay, you take one level or whatever from where you are, right? If Serbia possesses their home territory, then advance Russia to level 1, improve logistics. Okay, so that's the case for sure. Improve logistics, stage 1 for Russia. And then, if Greece possesses their home territory and Macedonia, then advance Britain to level 1, improve logistics. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, Britain is at level 1, improve logistics. And Russia's at level 1, improve logistics. And the Ottomans are at level 2, improve logistics. And what else did we change? Defense and depth, level 4 for the Ottomans. And that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, so that's the end of that war. And you can see how it turned out here, right? Like these guys are all in here. And these guys are here. And the Ottomans, these guys, it's hard to see, but all these guys are in Thrace. And these guys are in Constantinople. And what do we have here? 8 infantry in Serbia, with another one probably coming because of Randall's turn. So it'll probably be 9. Anyway, so that is the end of this turn, and we go to spring of 1914. So there we go. Unless something happens here, we will be going in another turn. Okay, so random events. Let me get that book out. Okay, now there's a couple of really interesting ones here, so we will see what happens. Okay, so this will be west. Spring 1914 west. Number 6 will be the most interesting one. And ooh, we got number 5. Okay, World War I launches in Africa. Britain and France are at war with Germany. Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire may now attack in African territories only. Units may not attack outside of Africa. Land and air units outside of Africa may not move, and units may not be moved out of Africa. Only colonial infantry may be purchased or upgraded in Africa. Reserves may not be placed until major powers are at war outside of Africa. Only naval units adjacent to Africa may move and conduct combat in those sea zones. Okay, so let's just take a look at this. We have beefed Africa up a little bit too. So war is in Africa now. And also, like if you have any ships, so the only ships that I can see, let's see, can you see that down there? There's some ships down here in South Africa, and there's a ship there, the Austrian one. There's that submarine there. There is some British boats there. And I believe that's it as far as ships that are adjacent to Africa. So they can also take part in this conflict, right? Okay, so that's that one. No units to put on. There was another one where you put a whole bunch of units in Africa, but that you didn't start fighting. So we got the one where they're fighting instead. Okay, spring 1914 east. These ones aren't as consequential on the east here. The west there could have been some big changes, like we could have started the war right away. 6. Okay, oh no. It says add one militia to Tibet, Hainan, Yunnan, and Suiyang. Now I caught this earlier today, and I called Bob and said, "Hey, we can't have it in Suiyang because that's the island, or Hainan, sorry, that's the island here, and we are not playing with the island." So this was written at a time that we were still using that island in the playtesting. Anyway, so instead of Hainan, we've decided it's going to be Singhai up there, the blue territory. You'll see when I put them on. So what are we putting on? Militia in Tibet. Okay. Darn. Where are they here? Of course, it's the box on the very bottom, right? Okay. So, militia in Tibet and in Singhai, Yunnan, and Suiyang. So, Singhai, Suiyang, and what was the last one? Yunnan. Oh, there's already one there. Okay. So we can just put a chip down. Okay. Yunnan, here we are. Oh no, that's got to be a red chip. That's the Central Powers. They're not actually Central Powers, but they're being played by the Central Powers. Okay. And here we go. Okay, there we go. So let's move in a bit. So you can see we put them in Singhai, Yunnan, and Tibet over here. And what was the last one? Oh, up here. Up at the top there in Suiyang. Okay, so that could have been a lot worse, but at the same time, that's kind of a drag because, for me anyway, because I'm going to be the nationalist player. And last turn, we put on a couple of militia here. So that's 6 militia we've added to the warlords in the last 2 turns. And that conflict hasn't even begun yet. So I am going to have my work cut out for me. Anyway, that's it for that. The Americans, oh yeah, the Americans, they spent their $3 and they saved one. So then they get $4. So they're up to 5 IPP. Okay. And that's it. That's it for this turn. And I don't see why I can't publish this now because, you know, this wasn't going to change what Randall is going to do, and what happened on the other random event wasn't going to change what he was going to do either. He's not even in Africa, so, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. Anyway, so now we have one turn, this turn here that we're playing right now. I don't think that anybody is at war. I don't believe so. So we're, oh, in Africa, that's right. So we might get be attacking each other down in Africa. We'll see, and then the war begins. So that's going to be fun. If you've been playing along, then our turns are going to start getting longer. You're not going to see any 30-second turns or 40-second turns. They're going to be a few minutes long, and some of them might even be longer, like if you're a big attack on the Western Front or something. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will send it off to Germany. Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.